Okay, good morning and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the second video on the Sierra. First video's gone down really well, which I'm really happy about because, like I said before, this is one of our favourite cars. We've had various models over the years and only had short periods of time without one, to be honest. So today I'm going to be looking at doing the timing belt and water pump and sorting out the water leak that it sprung last time we used it. So hopefully we'll be able to get all that sorted out. So won't waffle on too much, we'll just get straight into it. Okay, so I've got the car jacked up and I've dropped the bottom hose off the radiator, so I'm just going to take the rest of the hoses off for a second, just to give myself a bit more access. Probably stripping, not necessarily, but I am going to take the radiator out because I'm doing this on my own. I'm going to take the radiator and intercooler out just to give myself better access to the bottom pulley because it's very tight when it goes on there, and trying to get it off on your own is very difficult. The workshop manual says you're supposed to hold the flywheel, but that's not the easiest of things to do either. So it's just quicker and easier if you're doing this on your own to strip it all down. Okay, so I've taken the airbox out just to give you room to get this pipe off. Because this is an aftermarket intercooler, the inlet pipe is a lot longer than the standard one. The standard one would only come to about here. The difference is that this allows you clearance past the airbox. The airbox has got the inlet pipe sort of down in this area. Because this is so long, when you're trying to get that charge pipe off, it's actually pushing against the airbox and not allowing it to come off. So I had to drop the airbox out, drop the arch liner off the inner arch to do that. So the next job now is just disconnect the rest of the pipes off the intercooler and the radiator and then drop it down out the way. So that'll be the next bit. Okay, so I'm looking underneath the car now basically. So this is the radiator and this is the intercooler. And these basically are the two mounts of 213mm bolts that go into the chassis. Once everything's disconnected, you can literally just drop these two out. I think I'm up high enough to do that. Hopefully I am. The reason why I'm doing this is, like I said, to get to that crankshaft pulley bolt, which is really, really tight. But I have got a very good impact driver that will take it off. So whilst I'm under here, I can also see, I don't know if you can see this, the engine mount. That's the bottom of the engine mount just here, and that's poking out. So looking at it, I think the engine mount is shot. Again, that's a very common problem on these cars, and I have actually got some competition type engine mount which I may get around to fitting. I'll have to jack the engine up and see if that is actually shot, but looking at the bottom of it, it looks like it's had its day. So I'll just concentrate on doing the timing belt at the moment, and we'll get that done. So I'll put you back up top and undo these 4 bolts, get these coolers out, and then get the belt off. All these bolts are normally Torx, but this is a Allen key for some reason. But that's fine. A couple more down the bottom then, little 8 mils. That's the auxiliary belt off. It's a 15mm spanner. So now we need to turn it around to top dead center. I actually machined this socket years ago shorter, just so I can do this without having to take everything off. But it's not still not easy. Okay, so I've set the time in roughly at the moment. The two top pulleys, you're looking at these pointers here, which basically point to these teeth, and they have to line up. It needs slightly out, but it's pretty much there. Okay. The crankshaft pulley is down here. I'm not sure if you can see this. Okay, so the crankshaft pulley is there, and it actually lines up with that lug. It doesn't, there is a line next to it, but the line is to show you which lug. It's not the actual timing mark. A lot of people, when they time these up, they time it to that line thinking that's the timing mark, but that lug actually needs to just line up with that pointer here, not that mark there. So that mark just tells you that this is the pointer that you need to line up with. So that's set. And then over on this one, the distributor, there is, again, it's a timing mark on the pulley, and there's supposed to be a timing mark behind it, but to be honest, I've never seen one. You can't see it when it's in there, and I've given it a good clean. There's no actual timing mark, unless there is one slight one on the actual casting. So that's your 3 marks. The bottom pulley, this one, if you get it wrong, it's not the end of the world. The car won't start possibly, or the timing will be out. All that does is the firing order and bits and pieces. So if it's misfiring badly, it could be that one if that one's out. But if you get the others out, if you get the actual the camshafts or the crank out, then yeah, you could be in for a world of hurt to get this done. So start stripping this down now. Okay, so just quickly check the timing again. So take the bottom pulley off now. It says. Okay, so that's the bottom pulley off. I don't remember that being that difficult to get back on, but it wasn't easy. So timing belt now should basically come off. The belt doesn't look too bad, there's no actual cracking or anything on it. It's like I say, I haven't done very many miles in it, but it has been stood for a while, so better off changing it. So the next piece will be this thermostat pipe, which is the actual bit that we're worried about, and the actual water pump. So take the water pump off. Now there should be these little bolts here. Just get the cover off, and then a couple of bolts behind it. Okay, so 3 M8 cat bolts, all the same size, so it's handy. So the water pump's got 3 bolts. One's a 17, I think it's an M10, 17 head on it. And then 2 M8 13mm head bolts. One short one, and the one down the bottom also has the mount for the timing belt cover. It's basically a special bolt, but that slot there is where the timing belt slots into down there. So down there. Okay, so this is the back of the thermostat. So that little pipe that broke was this one here. That went through to that, basically goes back to the heater matrix. So this is the actual water pump, and actually it doesn't feel too bad at all. This is the thermostat housing, and need to get a new rubber seal because obviously I wasn't thinking about taking that off. The reason why I took this off is that this joining pipe here, both these Jubilee clips are basically the heads are rounded off on the screws and I couldn't undo them. So now this is off, I'll be able to get that out, take this out, off, and replace everything.